Last but certainly not least, we have the WWE Championship All-Stars match for Money in the Bank, blah, 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 as I said before. And we have CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Christian, Rob Van Dam, and blank spot, because Kane has apparently been pulled from the match.
Or is it just 6 people now?
I don't know.
That's
They're not really saying, are they?
No.
Rob Van Dam!
Wikipedia has
so
it
good!
Wikipedia has it listed as just 6, but that's Wikipedia, so I don't know.
Well, so does the graphic on WWE.com for the actual preview. That's not one of them. When you have the list of matches under like the actual previews list column, when you can scroll through like the smaller images of the match, it only shows 6 people. But when you go to the main page for the match, it shows that whole question mark thing where Kane was. So it's a little weird.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and I pray to God that they don't do this. But if it's WWE, they might, where they have Cena versus Mark Henry be like the 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock match, and if they have Mark Henry win it, but they slot Cena into that main event, that empty spot in the Money in the Bank.
Oh God! And he becomes the second back-to-back Money in the Bank winner in WWE history.
Which sets up a cash-in at SummerSlam, which is how they keep the Mark Henry feud going. See, it makes sense.
Oh God!
You guys don't understand, do you? You know who's gonna actually go in and fill that void where Kane left?
Bob Corholly?
No. The man, the myth, the legend.
The man called Sting?
Brad Maddox. Think about it.
Well, he is the general manager. He can do what he wants.
Exactly.
All right, so similar to the other one, let's kind of knock these people out. Nobody's going with Christian, right?
No, absolutely not.
Right. So he's gone. We don't even need to discuss Christian anymore. There's no fucking shot.
Stop talking about him.
Sheamus.
Yeah, and your love for Christian, Tony.
Sheamus is a complete no as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't stand a chance either.
No, he's not WWE title material.
Not yet.
Nah.
No, he's just not in the right position for it right now.
I would say he's got a 0.01% chance.
He's got a snowball's chance in hell. That's about it.
Snowball's chance in hell!
That wasn't funny.
I'd say if this were the World Heavyweight title Money in the Bank,
he'd be a heavy
the top
favorite.
runner.
Yeah, he'd be a heavy favorite, but this is not for the World Heavyweight title. So
right,
we can count him out entirely.
feet. I just saw the feet thing.
I feel the same way about Randy Orton in a way too. I think you could class him in the exact same spot as Sheamus.
I'm going to say no on Randy Orton, and the reason is if we're still under the assumption that they're going to do a heel turn for a cash-in against John Cena in the main event, I could see that being where they pull the trigger and turn Randy Orton heel, where he comes out, he's acting really facey, he's gonna congratulate John Cena for his win, and then punt kicks him in the head, cashes in, and that sets up Orton versus Cena for SummerSlam, which is a pretty big
main event. He'll be lying down when Orton comes to congratulate him then.
But if Orton was going for a heel turn and he had a Money in the Bank and he punted Cena in the head, why wouldn't he just cash it in then?
Well, he would punt him in the head first, then cash in, and then pin him. He would have to kick him in the head.
I don't think
the way you were saying it was like he cashes it in advance for a match at SummerSlam. So No. Here's how it works. All right. John Cena beats Mark Henry. He gives him the 5-knuckle shuffle. AA gets him. Comes out, congratulates John Cena. They're shaking hands. They're hugging. All of a sudden, he knees him in the stomach or something, and makes John Cena buckle to his knees. Hands him the briefcase. Bell rings. He runs in, punt kicks him, goes for the pin. Heel turn, championship, sets up for the rematch at SummerSlam.
I'm putting Orton just about at the same level as Sheamus. I don't think he has a chance of winning this either.
That's what I said. We would class both of them the same. Like if it was World Heavyweight title, contract would be a lot different. But this one, I just don't see it.
All right. Okay.
Kane, of course, we can rule out. I mean, he might not even be in the match, period. So.
And whoever replaces him is obviously in the same boat if he even gets replaced at all.
Unless he gets replaced by somebody who's such a big fucking deal that it's like, oh, of course. But I doubt that that's happening because we have the RVD thing going on.
Yes.
So that really knocks it down to 3 people: RVD, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. Personally, I would rule CM Punk out here.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of the Brock Lesnar program that's going to be resuming shortly after this pay-per-view.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon to be putting CM Punk back in the main event title picture. Either way, I think he needs a warm-up feud first.
Yeah, I agree with Miguel. I think the Brock Lesnar fight is definitely that warm-up before they push him back to a title picture or a title program. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if he does win, because that's certainly a good way to transition to him holding the belt in the future.
All right, so that knocks it down to the 2 main people that we can talk about: Daniel Bryan and RVD. I'm going to go on record here, as I've said before, as still having the same opinion, where the winner is going to be RVD. He's going to be aligned with Paul Heyman, turn heel, cash in on John Cena, and we're not going to see Daniel Bryan and John Cena at SummerSlam. We're going to see RVD and John Cena. And RVD will be in a similar position to what The Rock was, where he has that limited kind of time frame, but he's still the champion. And I think that RVD's keeping it until maybe a little bit before, but maybe actually at Survivor Series, and he drops it to CM Punk. And I don't think Daniel Bryan touches it until either CM Punk drops it and Daniel Bryan does something with the Royal Rumble, and this is their attempt at trying to stall as long as possible with this Daniel Bryan thing, or maybe even afterward. I don't know. I'm very hesitant on both championship fronts for them to trust giving everything to Ziggler and Bryan. And that's the main reasons why I'm going with Del Rio and RVD instead.
Oh my god, where are you finding this shit that you're posting, Peyton?
He made it up. That's his cold cut prediction from the top of his head.
Oh no, I the stuff in the chat.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty
bad
sure
photoshops
didn't get that from anywhere.
Oh.
It's his prediction.
God.
I think bringing RVD in and turning him heel is leaving money on the table. I think they can milk his return and how much face pop he's going to get for what it's worth. I do see an RVD John Cena matchup happening in the future, but I could see that, honestly, I could see that as being a matchup for SummerSlam. If you want to really get the fans buzzing, a face versus face RVD versus John Cena matchup, that would get people buzzing.
Seen that before.
Yeah, but we haven't seen that in like 4 or 5 years. It's
longer
new.
than that. It's been like 7.
Yeah, 7 years. So it's new. It's new to fans. So I could see that. Although you can probably get the same result from Bryan versus Cena.
Yeah, which is the better match to invest in. And on top of that, I don't see Rob Van Dam being anything more than what Chris Jericho is to the roster. I see him being only here for spots like Christian is, to make the match a little bit more exciting. He's there for some extra buys, but I don't see them giving him the briefcase.
I really hope that they don't. I really don't fucking want to see that.
To me, he's just going to be that upper mid-card babyface that fills a role like Chris Jericho, and he puts over heels and has good matches, maybe some other faces that are on the same level with him, and that's really all he does. Maybe he gets like a token Intercontinental title reign or two.
I want to see Chris Jericho versus RVD, even if it's just a Raw matchup.
But I'm going with Daniel Bryan to win this thing, and this is kind of like his route to getting to SummerSlam, where he begins challenging John Cena for the WWE title. Like, if he wins, whoever wins this, I don't see cashing in the same night anyway, but I'm going with Bryan here to win it, and this is kind of like their catalyst to building up to SummerSlam, and that's going to be the WWE title program. It's going to like do the whole co-main event thing with what they got going on with Punk and Lesnar.
I think
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think if they do have Bryan win, he's going to announce his cash-in, not just come out and do it. I think they're going to play that into the whole weak link thing. Like, I'm not a weak link, and I'm going to prove it by announcing my cash-in at SummerSlam, and building up to that. I could see that being what they do, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's had the history of cashing it in cheaply before, and he said, well, people probably thought I looked weak then. Well, I'll show them how much better I am now. I'm going to cash it in for, like a title match at the second biggest show of the year. To get the ultimate win over the company guy, John Cena, basically straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So like no weak, no cheapness, no tomfoolery is involved with how he cashed in. He wants to do it straight up. But yeah, it's what I can say. One thing about this pay-per-view is at least it's kind of having differing opinions on who he thinks is going to win all the matches. Like this isn't something you can predict right down the middle entirely. So I could give them credit there.
Yeah, I mean there are some options, and who's to say that they don't go completely fucking random and against it ends up being Christian and Cesaro, and Ryback wins his match in a squash, and Mark Henry wins the title, and Ziggler wins the title, and everybody who's like Curtis Axel ends up doing a fake concussion thing, and Miz wins the Intercontinental title. The Usos fucking win. Like, who knows? But final predictions. Miguel?
Daniel Bryan.
Brandon?
I think everything they're doing with Daniel Bryan right now is just totally building him up to have him win this match and have him be a long-term prospect for the WWE title. And, I think he's ready. I think the people are receptive to it. The beard is working. Everything he does is working. Everything he does has been just eaten up by the fans. So I think this is his moment to cement that and take his spot that he deserves among the upper echelon talent in the company. So I don't think he's going to cash in immediately. I think he's going to wait. I think they're going to sit on it. They're going to Ziggler it and wait it for the most opportune time to when the demand for it is such a fever pitch that they have no choice but to do it.
Paid?
Oh God, you had to ask me right in the middle of a sneeze.
I sneeze.
Didn't? Oh. Well, I faced away from it. Anyway, Daniel Bryan, it may be the obvious choice, and I think a lot of people are using it as an excuse for it to not be Daniel Bryan, but sometimes the obvious choice is the right one, and sometimes the predictable way is the right way to go, and I think this isn't a perfect example of one of those times. So I'd be actually shocked if anybody but Daniel Bryan wins. The only other person I could see having a snowball's chance in hell, honestly, is Rob Van Dam, only because it's in Philadelphia, and I feel like they might try to make something big out of that. But I wouldn't count on it being a thing happening.
Bryan?
Daniel Bryan. Simple as everyone stated, a good reasons. Case in point for Bryan, he's being pushed to the moon at the moment. If they don't use it for him now, it's going to be the biggest mistake WWE ever made. Van Dam's a part-timer. The Rock was a special occasion because the fact The Rock drew a lot of his audience in. I don't think Van Dam's going to be doing the same. I think this is more or less him being in the match just to see what the crowd reaction's like and how they're gonna use him. But I think his failure to commit long term is going to be his undoing. So Bryan all the way.
And Braden?
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with everybody else. You strike while the iron is hot. There's arguably not a bigger superstar on the cusp of being in the permanent main event WWE title status than Daniel Bryan. This is the last stepping stone to reach to get above the status he's at right now into superstardom. Whether they actually pull the trigger on him winning the WWE title will remain to be seen, but I think he at least gets the notch with the briefcase here.
And I'm going to go 60% RVD, 40% Daniel Bryan. Nobody else has, as Peyton said, a snowball's chance in hell. Especially not Kane now. So, Fantasy League stuff coming up next. And then, of course, all of the plugs. A little bit more than normal this week. But, of course, Miguel's got a pick to goes. So, with the Fantasy League, what are the scores right now?
I calculated the SmackDown points, and our final points heading into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view are as such. Braden Mayhew still sitting in last with negative 10 points. You've made absolutely nothing as far as movement this session, Braden. You really need to get someone on your team who's actually on TV.
Yeah.
Miguel Leon still catching up at 40 points, all the way down in sixth place. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sixth place. And the next couple spots are actually interesting. Tied for fourth place Brendan Liggett and Tony Mango both have 110 points. And tied for second place, myself, Mike Payton, and Michael Burhan are tied for second place with 230 points. So we have 2 ties in there in 2 different spots. And all the way up in first place with still quite a sizable lead, but that could all change coming this Sunday, Chris Jester with 310 points.
Son of a bitch.
Now, this past Monday night on Raw, with the debut of the Wyatt family, we saw a number of subs take place. I'll just run down those really quick. Tony Mango dropped out the Big Show and brought on Bray Wyatt.
Woo!
Brendan Liggett dropped Kane and brought on Luke Harper. I'm interested, why Kane?
Because as soon as I saw Kane getting jumped by the Wyatt family, I figured they were going to write him off TV for a while. I had Fatu with me whispering it in my ear, so I give all credit to Fatu for that one.
He's going to be their sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think as soon as I saw him taking the beat down, I'm like, all right, they're probably writing Kane off television. And Tony gets in my ear, and I'm like, all right, I'm doing it.
Fancy. I dropped Brock Lesnar in favor of Eric Rowan. I got to say, I feel like I got the cheap end of the Wyatt family. But
yeah,
I'll take what I can get.
Once Tony took Bray Wyatt, I didn't know who I was going to do, and I guess I went to – I don't know why I went with Rowan or Harper. I think it was the beard.
He's definitely the bigger star of the two. I could actually see him, when this is all said and done, being bigger than Bray Wyatt.
Maybe.
That actually surprises me why Tony picked up Bray Wyatt, because I don't see him being an in-ring performer. I think he's going to be the outside voice of the Wyatt family, but I don't think you're really going to get any points off of Bray Wyatt. I mean, I can understand why you would get him, but I don't think he's going to give you much.
You think he's going to be more of a manager than an actual star?
I think he's just going to sit out on the side of the ring, and he's going to cut promos. He's going to be a star, but he's not going to get into any matches, at least not many. He might get 1, maybe 2 matches, but he's going to be the voice. He's going to be the leader. He's going to make people do his dirty work for him.
Let's not get too deep into theory crafting of what's going to be happening to Bray Wyatt's career. Michael Burhan passed on his priority, went to Chris Jester. Chris Jester finally got Jack Swagger off of his team and took on Kane after he was dropped by Brendan Liggett. And so now that leads us to Miguel Leon, who has priority pick, and it sounds like you got someone you want to sub out. So who are you looking to do?
Zack Ryder hasn't done anything for me, neither in Session 1 or Session 2. He's just kind of been filling up a spot, so if I'm going to get rid of anybody off of my team, it's going to be Zack Ryder. And I know this guy really hasn't been doing much either on Jester's team, but I don't think WWE is going to completely give up on him. I'm going to take the fool's bet on this one. I'm going to put Jack Swagger on my team.
Wow. Jack Swagger back in the game at least.
Yeah, I'm going to take the risk because you got the We the People gimmick going, which I think is starting to really get over. I saw the promo that they did on SmackDown last week. I do think once this whole marijuana thing blows over, he's going to be back in the game, him and Cesaro. You're going to see a lot of tag team matches with those guys. So I'm going to pick up Swagger. I'm going to swap him out for Zack Ryder.
Well, there you go. Braden, we're on to you. Is there anybody you would like to sub out and bring onto your team?
Yeah, even though I'm trading somebody who's really not on TV for somebody who's not on TV. I believe that the Big Show is going to have quite a few, at least one last good push, and I'm similar to Mark Henry. And I'm going to be subbing him out for R-Truth, who really hasn't been doing anything for my team whatsoever since I brought him on. Assuming he'd get the odd mid-card victory and maybe loss every now and then, that's going to be the swap I'm going to make. I'm sure maybe one of them will be resurfacing after being pre-show spectators, as we've seen at Payback. I think Big Show might be overcoming a slight injury, but when he comes back, I see him getting a good number of victories.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tony, that brings us back to you. If there's another sub you would like to make,
if memory serves correct, I do not think that there is anybody on the roster right now that I'm interested in. Let me double check it real fast just to be sure.
Oh my gosh, come on.
But I think everybody's kind of been taken already. I don't want to pick up R-Truth. I don't want to pick up Zack Ryder. There's no point in picking up the primetime players or Brodus Clay or actually it's Brodus Clay. It doesn't matter.
Brodus Clay's on Miguel's team.
Fuck it. I don't care about that anyway.
You get Sweet Tea.
Yeah, sure. Nah, at this point, I think that's pretty much staying the way that it is. There's really nobody that is going to come on board. I'm not going to pick up the Undertaker or anything like that.
Pick up Brock
All right.
Lesnar.
Brendan, anybody you would like to sub out in your team right now?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, that brings it back to me, and I actually do have a sub I would like to make.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I how dare you?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
accept the
sad.
apology. All right. I will be subbing out, and this pains me to do this. Chris Jericho, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. You've gained me a massive amount of points. You kept my team alive when I was going through a lot of struggles with the fall of Ryback into Cryback and Mark Henry going home and leaving us fans behind. But it's time to let you go, buddy. You're going on to greener pastures. You got big things planned. Good luck to you. Team
Wish you
Payton
best.
must keep going on, though.
We wish
What's
you
that?
best of luck in your future endeavors.
Absolutely. And he'll be back someday, and maybe he will find his way back on a Team Payton in the future. But for now, Chris Jericho, we wave you goodbye. And in Chris Jericho's place, I will be welcoming to Team Payton someone that I believe will be getting a lot of exposure on TV because he is the only person I think anybody is going to give a damn on that E television show, Tyson Kidd.
Huh.
That's
Despite-
really interesting.
Despite his injury?
Well, he's
He
going to be
comes back.
yeah, he's going to be gone for a little bit.
That's
He can become a good tag team fixture again. I mean, I remember him and Justin Gabriel doing some pretty good stuff before he got injured, and that's kind of what derailed their team.
He could be a US champion easy.
Oh yeah,
I think an Evan Bourne Tyson Kidd team would be awesome.
we'll have to see what they have planned for him when he comes back.
Evan Bourne was someone else I was considering, but ultimately I feel like Tyson Kidd is the safer bet. Evan Bourne might get a little bit of a rub when he gets back, but like I said, Tyson Kidd, because of that E show, they're going to need someone to be a face they're going to get behind on it, and Tyson Kidd's going to be one of those guys.
And Payton, you won't need to worry about any suspensions with Tyson Kidd. That's more of a worry with Evan Bourne as well. So that's a smart strategy right there.
True that.
So who does that move on to next?
So that would go to who would that go
Burhan.
to? Burhan, who he passed the first time unless he's changed his mind. He wants something now
Pass.
because we do have available now Zack Ryder, R-Truth, and Chris Jericho. If that matters to anybody. All right, Jester's not here unfortunately, so we're back to Miguel.
You know what? Brodus Clay has been losing me a lot of points recently. I mean, he lost me 5 a couple weeks ago. He lost me another 5. You know what? I need star power. I need more star power on my team, and I'm gonna take another sucker's bet. I'm gonna swap out Brodus Clay, and I'm gonna take Chris Jericho.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. All right, Brodus Clay subbed out from Team Leon for Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame that that's going to cancel out whatever happens with Cryback. Oh, it's not going to
Ah!
It's all right. It's only one
I
night.
just realized that.
Braden, I guess we'll end this off with you for tonight. Anything you want to do?
Nah, I'm gonna pass.
You don't want Brodus Clay or R-Truth? Or you got rid of R-Truth? Or Zack Ryder?
Miguel, I'll trade you Cesaro for Jericho.
Done.
Done?
Really?
Accepted.
All right. We just had a trade happen.
I thought that was a joke.
No, I was. I mean, I'm high on Sand, or what did I say, Cesaro or
Cesaro,
Sandow?
yeah, you said Cesaro.
Yeah, I meant one of those two. Yeah. I'm high on Cesaro. I think he's got a really lot of potential, but I think I'm going to need some points right now, and I'm going to...
Are you really confident that Jericho's going to win on Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
I'm
You know
that...
what, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll swap out Jericho for Cesaro. I'll do that.
All
Now
right.
you
But then
can-
I'll have
Yeah.
swagger, so I'll have both we the people and the Usos.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy that. All right, guys. So I think that's going to wrap us up. We got a lot of crazy things happening. I'm going to have to do a lot of work on the spreadsheets and the roster images. But, yeah, probably a lot of big things we may see happening at Money in the Bank. Pay-per-views, all points are doubled. So we could see some big changes happening to these points.
Or the further deterioration of my team, one way or the other.
Who knows? Maybe down the line somebody's going to pick up Primo.
Hey, maybe Big Show will get subbed into the All Stars match. He's a former champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll be pissed, but that knocks out, excuse me, all the fantasy.
Knock something out.
Oh yeah, Big Show's killing me already. All the fantasy talk, and the only thing left to do now are the big section of plugs here. I'm gonna try to rush through my plugs and then talk about the two other things. Actually, no, I'll talk about the other two things first because the other ones people will probably skip by. First thing I want to mention out of all this is not the Sign Me Up initiative. We'll get to that in a minute. It's that the pre-show is going to happen for Sunday before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So you guys can go check that out at blogtalkradio.com, the Mega Powers radio station there, or www.megapowerradios.com, megapowersradio.com.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's up on the screen right now. You can double check it. Check that out, and you guys can call in and talk to us about whatever you guys think with the pay-per-view coming along their way. We're going to start that at, 6:30, I think?
6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. So, kind of going along with that, but skipping ahead a little bit further. August 2nd is tentatively around maybe 9 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure yet. Going to be the live edition of Smack Talk that we're going to be doing. I'm calling it a summer block party special episode kind of a thing. And there really is no set things that we're going to be talking about other than obviously we're going to be doing the hot tags and the Ask Him and some kind of a live outro possibly. I don't know. I want to make that a really fun atmosphere, so just like the other kind of things, like the Raw post-show, the pre-show that's going to be coming on Sunday and all that, you guys can call in and talk to us the whole time. I'll give you more definitive details as time goes on, and you could always check smarkoutmoment.com because I might have something posted up on the sidebar or something like that to let you know. But I'd love to see all you guys there as much as possible. We do record this Friday nights, usually after SmackDown. But hey, maybe we'll end up doing it during SmackDown and kind of give ourselves a little bit more to talk about or something. I don't know.
So August 2nd is a Friday then?
Yep.
All right, good. Then I'll be able to make it, more than likely.
Yeah, we're going to try to get as many people as possible to join in. And we might actually be having two different people that are doing wrestling books joining in on it as well.
Artie Reynolds?
Hmm?
You said we're doing wrestling books. I figured it'd be like Artie Reynolds and Brian Blade from WrestleCrap.
Nope.
They do books.
Nope, neither of them. But stay tuned for some more information on that, everybody. I'll let you know anything else that comes along our way. But for right now, August 2nd, live edition of Smack Talk. You can call in. It's going to be the same as the post-show and the pre-show with Mega Powers Radio. So stay tuned for all that other kind of stuff. Now it's time to get into the actual normal plugs. And of course, the Sign Me Up initiative. Bring a Smark Out Moment sign to any kind of wrestling event. Doesn't matter what it is. Take a picture or video, send it to me, and I will put it up on Smack Talk and on the website. And now I'm going to send it off to Miguel.
Plug in the same thing I normally do. 90s Kid Presents, my blog on www.fanboysanonymous.com. I've been very slow as of late, just because I'm running out of old games to play, and my budget doesn't really allot that I can really go out and splurge on, some older stuff. I really got to pick my punches, so it's gonna be a little bit slower than normal. I'm gonna try to keep it once a week, to keep it continuous. But just bear with me, folks. It's getting really hard, especially with my schedule changing to full time now at work. I don't really have that many days to devote to something like this. But yeah, check out 90s Kid Presents if you like old video games. We do Dreamcast, PlayStation, N64, SNES, whatever I can get my hands on. fanboysanonymous.com. Check it out.
Brandon.
If you like listening to me talk about shit, you could hear me on 3 spots, but I'm only going to talk about 2 of them because the next one is Payton's. Tuesdays, you can hear me on Geek Speak on the aforementioned Mega Powers Radio. Me, Payton, Burhan, and pretty much whoever else wants to join in the cavalcade of weirdness that is Geek Speak. Last week's episode was entitled Cholo Spider-Man, where we talked about... What did we talk about on Tuesday? I don't even remember.
Cholo Spider-Man.
Cholo Spider-Man. We had weird stuff. Just anything nerdy you could possibly imagine. It's three nerds talking for 2 hours. So Geek Speak, Tuesdays, 8 p.m., Mega Powers Radio. On Wednesdays, I host my own show, which is usually just me talking. Sportholics Anonymous, live Wednesday, 8 p.m., blogtalkradio.com/DreamEliteRadio. That's it. And then one final thing, that's not really a plug, but a kind of shout out to two of my very best friends that are tying the knot this weekend, Bryan Smith and, well, now Jamie Smith. Two people couldn't be more perfect for each other. Bryan should have done this about 2 years ago because Jamie has sat through literally countless hours of shitty independent wrestling and not done so without complaining. Or not complained one bit. So,
Sounds like a keeper.
Yeah, exactly. This girl's a total keeper. She does it with a smile on her face, sits there, reads her books, doesn't judge. I love them both, so I'm going to give them a shout out on a podcast.
Oh,
That's my wedding gift to them. I couldn't come, so shout out on a podcast.
It's the thought that counts.
Chris Kane
Yes.
on Facebook, like his fucking Facebook page, so he stops complaining to me.
Hayden, your turn.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to begin anymore. I have to talk about so much stuff. Well,
I know.
as Tony said, you've heard many people talking about it actually. MegaPowersRadio.com to hear lots of awesome entertainment almost every single night of the week. You got Tuesday night Geek Speak, where Brandon, myself, Burhan, whoever the heck else decides to show up, we'll be talking about all things geek or whatever the heck else passes through our minds. Wednesday night, the Daceman Show. Brandon, if you interrupt me, I will smack you. Where the Daceman, Chris the Daceman Dace, who you hear once in a while on the show, used to be more of a regular. Well, he comes on there and he talks in his own show, and he talks about celebrity news, sometimes sports stuff. He talks about top 5 list every week. Oh gosh, what else is on there? Saturday night, I got gameplay where we'll talk about video games. Burhan will give you a better rundown on that. Monday nights, immediate following Monday Night Raw. I know you're all wrestling fans, so you can listen to us talk about our immediate reactions following Monday Night Raw. You can also call in and give us your thoughts as well. And as Tony said, we'll be doing the pre-show this Sunday before Money in the Bank. And most importantly, I should add, I come from a wrestling podcast myself called Keeping Kayfabe, where wrestling is still real to us.
Damn it!
Yeah, that's our catchphrase. You can hear us live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on blogtalkradio.com/DreamElite. That's Dream Elite Radio. It's the Thursday Night Wars as we go head-to-head with TNA Impact because, goodness gracious, they're not dead yet. We need to make sure it happens as soon as possible. You know what TNA ratings must have been really bad this week because not only were they going against us, they were also going against Sharknado.
I know, right?
So I bet nobody was watching TNA this week.
I can't wait for Sharknado 2, the Sharkening. Do you know that Al Gore actually thinks that 92% of Sharknadoes are caused by global warming?
Lovely. So check that out also, keepingkayfabe.com. This week's episode that we did, we covered Doink the Clown versus Mr. Perfect in a King of the Ring qualifying match from Monday Night Raw in 1993, going all the way in the Wayback Machine there. Looking back at heel Doink, who I think we determined on last week's Smack Talk was better than the babyface Doink. Everyone except Tony thought so anyway.
It's my show. I edited it out. Everybody agreed. I just dubbed your voices over.
Oh, whoops.
Terrible impressions of us. Yes! Yes, it is!
Tonight, the role of Michael Burhan is being played by Tony Mango.
And also, if you haven't done so, like the Keeping Kayfabe page because we're getting the number up finally and I want to keep it going. And, of course, like the Bob Core Holly page.
Got like 300 likes for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing up. We are like internet famous now almost.
And
Didn't Bob Corholly just make an appearance at a wrestling show somewhere? I think there was a big news article that he.
Hey, he appeared for TNA.
For their pay-per-view. Yeah, the
their
Hardcore Justice.
2. Yeah, the Bob Core Justice. Yes.
And stay tuned for more boobs coming your way from the cosplay section, right?
Oh yeah, see, I got like a million things I gotta plug here. I can never remember them all. Yeah, I'm doing articles on Fanboys Anonymous. You can always see me posting Geek Speak on there. Daceman posts his show on there as well. So if you just want to hear those shows in archival form, you can always report to Fanboys Anonymous to find those. And I'm also posting articles there occasionally. I'm doing a cosplay series featuring Jessica Negri, who, if you know anything, is one fine woman. Want to dip her in sugar and bake her right up.
It's another one of my ex-wives, future ex-wives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to try to keep up with your articles, man. Next month I'm going to a con in Florida, Mythicon. I might have to just take some female cosplay photos.
You got to be careful, man. There's been all these articles going around lately about creepsters like messing with cosplay girls. So I think like they're gonna be cracking down on that kind of stuff.
Well, no, I'm gonna say that I represent Fanboys Anonymous.
Yeah, because that's gonna not to make you seem creepy.
Anonymous, eh?
all.
How anonymous do you have to be?
Yeah, I know, right?
Not Peyton, Burhan.
As always, guys, go to fanboysanonymous.com for everything nerdy.
All your nerdgasms.
Exactly.
Where nerdgasms go to grow.
And I'm just really like running off fumes. Go to nerdgenius.com. I'm currently doing a Bill Murray week. Bill Murray fortnight, should I say? Which is a series of reviews on Movie File, which is my film review show, part of the 100 movies in 100 days. You can also, leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next week and onwards in regards to selections of films you want to see in terms of anything, basically. It can be something obscure, can be something original, can also be something independent or even something Hollywood made. But, if it is something made in Hollywood by Michael Bay, it's probably going to receive a lot of scrutiny. Apart from that, check me out on I Got Gameplay, 8 p.m. Saturday night on Mega Powers Radio. This week's show, we're going to be talking about internet trolls and those who go into games to rape and pillage. So we're going to have a lot of discussion in regards to that, guys. And also, as I said, check out my YouTube channel for my gaming vlogs, my wrestling vlogs, and check me out here on Smark Out Moment, because this is the show that started it all. So make sure you check this out, and keeping kayfabe, of course. And that's pretty much it for me. So stay strong, guys, and have a great one.
And lastly, Braden.
Okay, I'm just going to make this quick since these plugs have seemingly been going on for a long time. So you can, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/SpoodBeast. You can, of course, find all my social media-related websites from there, such as my Facebook page, the Instagrams, the Twitters. They're all kind of connected to the YouTube page once you go there. Some people have actually been referred to from this show, so that shows that the plugs do get seen. At least for my perspective.
All 45 minutes of them.
Yeah. All 45 minutes of these plugs do get watched because I've been mentioned last sometimes. Just keep in tune with everything that's going on in terms of the Mega Powers. It's, of course, the colossal combination of both Smack Talk and Keeping Kayfabe and all the projects that are going around. We got a lot of big stuff for you. So as long as you keep involved with all the projects we have going on, we have more viewers, and this means a lot of big stuff for us.
All right, guys. Episode 88 in the bag. It's a long one, but it was a good one. And next week, we're going to have, obviously, pay-per-view review and everything else coming along your way with that. The image captions and blah, blah, blah. We've done it before. You know what's coming along your way. Thank you to everybody who's done the show. Thank you to everybody who has listened. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out. Adios, everyone.
Smark Out Moment! The whole effing outro! Pay-per-view-nator! The Eliminator! Okay, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's all you get, because I'm going to start laughing in like 2 seconds. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs in my apartment. It's like 1:30 in the morning. My neighbors probably hate me already. Smark Out Moment! If you don't like it,